Hey, what's up everybody? Terry's finally out and I'm going to show you everything you need to start playing Terry as effectively and powerfully as possible in no time at all. Let's take a look at his key normals. Standing light punch, crouching medium punch, crouching medium kick, standing medium kick, standing hard punch, and standing hard kick. Standing light punch is tied with crouching light punch as Terry's fastest attack at 4 frames. It has slightly better range than crouching light punch, so you should try to end your light strings with standing light punch instead of crouching light punch to make sure your last hit always connects. Crouching medium punch is a 6-frame special cancelable crouching medium attack. This is a great button to use for both counter poking and for punishing -6-frame moves, since on punish counter, crouching medium punch combos into heavy power charge, leading into huge damage combos, especially in the corner. One really special thing about crouching medium punch is that it is hit confirmable if you're really focusing. Being able to hit confirm this into the medium version of power charge is going to be really important because it leads to some of his best mid-screen pressure setups. Crouching medium kick. Crouching medium kick is your standard 8-frame Shoto style crouching medium kick. Aside from its great range, it's also special cancelable, which means you can drive rush cancel for pressure on block or convert into a combo on hit. Standing medium kick is a 9-frame startup long range standing medium attack. This move has slightly more range than its crouching medium kick, so it's great to use as a poke and a keep out tool. Now, one special thing about this move, even though it's 9 frames on startup, it's only -2 on block, which means you're not going to be punished even if you do this close to the opponent. While it's great for poking and keep out, this move really shines when you're able to land a counter hit because it's +7. If you have 1 bar of super, you can link his level 1 super on counter hit after landing this move. It does a lot of damage, so aiming for this in neutral is a really powerful option for you. Standing hard punch is one of Terry's best normals, but its range is a little bit funky. It's pretty short for a standing hard punch, but actually hits a little bit further than what the animation shows, as you can see right here. Now, there are a couple of really great things about standing hard punch. First of all, it's 9-frame startup, but it's only -1 on block. Secondly, this move has 2 parts to it. If you connect with just the tip of standing hard punch, you'll only get 1 hit, but at closer range, you get 2 hits, which makes this a very hit confirmable move. And in case you guys are new to Street Fighter 6, just know that a hit confirmable -1 on block standing heavy punch is a really good tool to have in this game. Next is standing hard kick. This move's a little bit unconventional for a Street Fighter 6 move, but it's an important move of his nonetheless. Standing hard kick is 12-frame startup, has pretty good range, and it's only -4 on block. This can be used in neutral as a punish counter when your opponent whiffs buttons, or you can try to use it when you're shimmying your opponent to try to go for a crumple state into a combo when they whiff a throw. Unfortunately, because this move is 12-frame startup, it's a little bit hard to use as a reactionary whiff punish, so I think it's kind of better to focus on crouching medium punch for both whiff punishes and shimmy attempts when you're first starting to learn this character. While all of Terry's normals are really useful, the ones you're going to be using the most in the mid-range and neutral are going to be all versions of his fireball, that's light, medium, heavy, and the OD versions, medium burn knuckle, and the light, medium, and heavy versions of crack shoot, with a particular emphasis on the light and medium versions just because the heavy version can be drive impacted on reaction, so it's not one of those moves you just want to throw out all the time. Your go-to anti-air is going to be the light version of his rising tackle. Depending on spacing, you can use the medium or heavy versions as well, but just be careful because at closer range, you do have a tendency to kind of scoop underneath the opponent with the medium or heavy versions. So at this kind of a spacing, you should always be focusing on the light version of his rising tackle. All versions of Terry's power charge are good moves, but these are moves you're going to be wanting to use in combos because they're all super negative on block, so you don't want to throw these out whenever in the mid-range. Let's start off by talking about the light and medium versions of his fireball. So the light version travels really slow and is great for closing the gap against your opponent. You can just throw it out, dash behind it, walk forward, and you're going to be able to close the gap really easily. It does have a special property where the light version actually travels under fireballs. It does have quite a bit of recovery, so if your timing is a little bit off, you won't be able to block a fireball that comes after you, and you might get a trade if you're lucky. So for Fireball Wars, you're going to want to focus on the medium version. Now the medium version travels a lot faster than the light, but it doesn't go full screen. However, the medium version will trade with fireballs and kind of get rid of them. So if you're in a Fireball War, focus on the medium version, throw that out to get rid of their fireball and return back to neutral. The heavy version of this move, Round Wave, is really special because it acts differently from all the other fireballs that Terry has. So it has really long startup at 29 frames, has almost no range, but if the opponent blocks this, you're going to be left at +5, which means it's your turn to do whatever you want. A really good technique is to cancel either the first or second hit of a standing hard punch into this to steal back your turn, make your opponent guess to make sure that they don't know when to push buttons, and you can just keep on bullying with this as much as you want. It's really, really strong. The OD version is your skip neutral button because you can just throw this, it travels full screen, it moves really slowly, and you can just walk forward or even just drive rush behind it for a more expensive neutral skip option. It's a pretty good move, especially when combined with drive rush, so be sure to use this in the neutral when you're tired of playing neutral and you just want to get in. The medium version of Burn Knuckle is another skip neutral tool, and this move has some special properties. If you make the opponent block this move at this spacing, which is round start range, you can actually make it plus. So as you can see here, Terry's +1. And you'll know if you're plus or not because the screen is going to shake. Let's take a look. See how the screen shook a little bit? That means you're plus. If the screen doesn't shake, that means you're either punishable up to -6, or you're going to be slightly minus, like I said, anywhere from like -5 to -1 if you don't space it properly. The light, medium, and heavy versions of Terry's crack shoot kind of function the same way as Bison scissor kicks, but instead of being a quarter circle forward, it's a quarter circle back input. This is going to be -3 no matter how you space it. As you can see, this is the light version, even point blank, I'm always -3, which means Terry does lose his turn, but you're not going to be punished. Be careful with the hard version because it does have a tendency to kind of just go right over crouching opponents, so if you're going to use this, make sure you're spacing it properly. This one's only -1, and it's really, really good, especially for drive gauge chip. But again, with this move, it kind of functions the same way as the hard version of his Burn Knuckle. It is susceptible to perfect parries and drive impacts on reaction, so try not to overuse the hard version of this. All of Terry's supers have invulnerability, but his level 1 will lose to fireballs because it doesn't have projectile invulnerability. All 3 versions of your supers, level 1, 2, and 3, will work against physical attacks, so if you need to blow through somebody's move, you can go for any one of those depending on how much meter you have. Let's take a look at Terry's basic game plan. So Terry's game plan changes quite a bit depending on spacing, so let's break it down into different spacing situations. When far away from the opponent, you'll want to focus on a typical Shoto style game by throwing light and medium fireballs to either zone out and anti-air your opponent or to create a wall in front of you to safely close the gap. At mid-range, you'll want to use Terry's forward advancing specials like medium Burn Knuckle and crack shoot to close the gap. Once you're just inside your crouching medium kick range, you'll want to try and clip your opponent's toes with crouching medium kick drive rush. On block, go into crouching light punch to set up a +3 strike throw shimmy mix and then run your mix up. If you think they'll push a button, go into crouching medium punch for a counter hit combo. If you think they'll do a delayed throw, you can walk back for a shimmy and punish with either crouching medium punch or standing hard kick into any combo of your choice. The hard version of rising tackle combos from lights, so this is where you're going to be getting most of your knockdowns from. Going for a drive rush mix-up is what you should be focusing on after landing a hard rising tackle combo. After your drive rush, do a late crouching medium punch. This will hit the opponent as soon as they get up and leave you at +3 frames within throw range. After a hard rising tackle in the corner, I recommend whiff standing light punch 2 times as a frame kill. This will leave you at +5 frames to set up your offense. Most of Terry's optimal corner combos end in this route, so I strongly recommend learning this frame kill setup. Next, we have medium power charge. You're most likely going to be hit confirming this off of a crouching medium punch. A really strong setup after medium power charge is to immediately jump forward into jumping hard kick. This is a 42 frame safe jump, so if your opponent tries to wake up with a reversal, you'll be able to block and go for a big damage combo afterwards. Now Terry gets his best knockdown setups mid-screen after he lands heavy power charge. You'll most likely combo into this from standing heavy punch. From heavy power charge, do a light fireball, drive rush, and then do his medium punch, medium kick, hard kick target combo, then dash forward once. This will leave you at +6 frames right in your opponent's face, so you can do whatever you want afterwards to mix your opponent. Oh, and if you ever get tired of your opponent blocking, you can always just drive rush into his overhead with forward hard punch. Your frame advantage on hit is going to change based on your knockdown, but you'll be at least +6 at worst, so you can always link into crouching medium punch after this. Let's take a look at Terry's throw game. For my testing, Terry doesn't get any guaranteed pressure from throws mid-screen, but this changes a lot in the corner. Terry does have a throw loop, but it's a manually timed one and it only has a 2-frame window to land it successfully, so I don't think it's really practical to rely on this in a real match. Instead, after a throw, immediately dash forward and this will leave Terry at +3 frames. From here, you can go for a melee attack to beat them pushing buttons or throw to push them blocking. To beat people who do delay tech on wake up, you're gonna have to backdash immediately after your forward dash and then react with standing hard kick into a punish combo. Unfortunately, Terry's backwalk speed is too slow to shimmy after this auto-timed setup. And here are some important combos to get you started with Terry. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel since it helps support me as a content creator. And thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, take care.